Welcome to Three to Hardaway, aka the three-man Jalen Weave, aka the best big three since LeBron, D Wade, and Bias, live on YouTube on a Tuesday. If you are on YouTube, you see Took got this Oklahoma City Kevin Durant jersey. I don't know why. That's not the best player in franchise history.
Can't be.
That's
No
Shea
need to be.
Alexander.
It was 5 minus 3. Got it.
There you go.
No need to be.
I was saying before the show even started, ladies and gentlemen, I have no idea what's going to happen this episode. If you've been with Three to Hardaway long enough, it's been 3 going on 4 years of this podcast, and it ain't a Three to Hardaway episode without breaking news, man. So we've had 2 trades today. Of course, we had the Kevin Durant trade the other day. We had the Jrue Holiday and Anthony Simons trade. So I'm fully expecting something to happen. I tweeted out to the Milwaukee Bucks, hey, if y'all gonna make a move, do it right now. Do between 7 and 8:30 Central Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're notorious for the Kyrie Irving trade episode. Notorious for other random shit that just happens. So feel free to make the trade right now. I have no Jaylen Brown. You want to get traded to Miami? Go for it. Giannis to Brooklyn? Go for it. Anybody else want to get traded? Anthony Davis away from Dallas? Do what you gotta do. Go for it. But yeah, it's Three to Hardaway, man. If you don't know who I am the walking bucket providing instant offense. It's your boy Savage. Over here, we got the coach on the sidelines. Take them school on off the court. And when I say it's really Sheedy, it's really Sheedy. Sheedy, what's good, brother?
Nothing much, man. I know we're gonna get into this show and talk about the disaster that is Miami. So I'll save all my tears.
Disaster. Is it that bad though?
Oh, you know how they say the AC is on? The AC is definitely on in Miami, baby. Ain't no heat down there, baby.
He said, "This the real Miami Hurricane."
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, we also get your favorite DJ, self-made himself, Mr. Ted Shakir, aka DJ Thunder. What's up, Coop?
Man, look, all I'm gonna say is, bro, and what's his name, my boy, Aaron Wiggins got on the stage, gave a hell of a press, he did. You know what I'm saying? And he acknowledged the people that helped the Thunder get to where they are today. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I thought, damn, I'm actually one of them people that helped them get to where they are today. Granted, of course, Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook watching that was like y'all got sons, and y'all gonna have sons, and they're gonna have girlfriends that y'all ain't gonna be fans of. But it's gonna be like, just wait, I'm gonna just support from the back. That's how it was with them. But I love these OKC. But no, I'll play aside. Oh man, but again, shout out to the Thunder, man. Real NBA Finals champion. I ain't gonna get too much talk on this podcast because we got a lot to talk about. But we ain't gonna be like ESPN, bro. We gonna acknowledge the real ones, bro. Shout out to the Thunder.
Yes.
Don't start shit. Don't start shit. We too early in the episode.
I'm coming for. Hey, shout out to my cup.
And you're coming as well? Are you? Okay. I didn't know. Let's wrap it up.
That was a big yo. As soon as I heard it, I tried to ignore it, and then I looked at shit.
I just had a Jay Uso moment.
You did,
said
bro.
Something behind somebody, and it was like very like, hey, yo, what's going on?
Man, we can't even be guys. We can't have guys talk no more, man. Y'all let me
not at all.
Mess up y'all mind, bro.
Not at all, bro. At least once a week, get on here and laugh about it, bro. We gotta get on here at least once a week and laugh about it.
Too early. This is normally reserved for the hour and 15th minute, not for the 5th.
We got 3 more seconds till we can start let loose. And let's get it.
Hey, let's go.
Let's get it.
Without further ado,
let's get
into NBA trivia. What we got?
Shout out to YouTube, man. How to make it past the 5-minute mark. We made it.
We made it. Praise God.
Cheer.
All right, NBA trivia. Can you fellas name me the 4 NBA players to win a ring with 3 different franchises? Again, there are 4 NBA players who have won a ring with 3 franchises.
Robert Orr.
Good job, Sheedy.
LeBron's
2.
3 different franchises.
He played with LeBron.
Danny Green?
Yeah, Danny
Green. Come on, y'all can't. Y'all ain't gonna get the 4th one though. I'm gonna have to get y'all here, but I'm gonna let y'all go.
Okay, the 4th one. 3 different franchises.
Is he still playing?
Nah.
Or give me the era than when he played.
Yeah, give me the era. Yeah, help.
80s, 90s.
Okay. AC Green?
Nope.
Damn. It wasn't Robert Parrish.
know it. Do not tell. I feel like I know it. Who got 80s?
80s, 90s.
Not Bill Walton.
Dennis Rodman?
No, but he played with Dennis Rodman, and he was a team. He was on the 2000 Lakers team.
Oh, I know it.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, 2000. Okay, who am I? Rodman?
He played with Dennis Rodman both rings.
Ron Harper?
Nah.
Damn.
2000 Lakers.
Damn.
Come on, y'all. Played with Dennis Rodman both rings.
So he played. Okay.
Nice.
Not Horace Grant.
You kind of on the right path. He a smooth,
John Sally.
John
Sally. That's who it is, man. I knew it was somebody I know.
Good job. Yes, sir. So again, we got LeBron, Robert Orr, which I can't believe was the first one. Sheedy, good job on that one. John Sally and Danny Green, 4 players to win 3 championships.
So John Sally run Detroit, Lakers, and who else?
Bulls.
Okay.
He was on the 96 Bulls team.
Damn.
Gotcha. Damn. Sneaky bench player.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we did a good job.
And then went to Bad Boys.
Yeah. Literally in Bad Boys. And then he died. He got shot in one of the movies. I think the last one he got shot.
I probably won't say the last one. I'm about to watch it.
Yeah, I think it was the last one he got shot. That was out at a party somewhere and Brooke got popped. I said, damn.
Oh, yeah. And the candy came spilling out and Martin Lawrence started eating it. Yeah, Lexus.
Mark was on one. Mark was on one, bro. Oh, man. Speaking of on one, man, the NBA is on one. They literally are on one. Normally, this is where the NBA news section comes into play, but we're going to get right into all the trades that's happening. I know we got the NBA Finals that was recent. I mean, but so much has happened with the landscape of the NBA. We will get to the finals at some point on this show, but we feel like it's right. Maybe. It's important. It's important to get to honestly the man of the hour right now, and that's Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant finally got what he wanted. He was traded out of Phoenix and was sent to the Houston Rockets. The details of the trade, of course, Houston acquires Kevin Durant. Phoenix gets Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, the 10th pick in this year's draft, and 5 second-round picks. So if you doing it on like a quantitative standard, the Grizzlies kind of got more for Desmond Bane than what the Suns got for Kevin Durant. I said kind of Jalen Green. Now I say this: the Jalen Green situation is going to be interesting. We'll get to that a little bit later. But as far as the impact of KD to the Rockets, I know 2 loves is for Houston. Of course, you hate that your boy ain't in your city no more. But as far as Houston goes, where do they stack up? Where do they stack up in terms of like, because they made this move to compete with Oklahoma City. That's very clear. So now where they stack up with having Amen Thompson, Alperen Sengun, still got Fred VanVleet, still kept Reed Shepherd, Tari Eason, which she loves, Jabari Smith Jr. They didn't really give up that much aside from Jalen Green and Brooks. I said it when Brooks got traded to the Rockets. He's going to be traded. He's going to trade it. At some point, he's going to get traded. And here's where we are. So yeah, what you think about this trade?
Love it. Of course, I said that he was going to be a Spur in the last couple of episodes, which I think definitely could have been the case. But when you hear rumblings of Kevin Durant really wanted to be in Houston with Udoka, makes all the perfect sense in the world. Once I saw the trade happen, I was like, oh, that's it? Jalen Green, Dillon Brooks, and this year's first? Bye. Because you still got other stars, and I'm happy to break this trade down because when you got somebody like a Jalen Green who averaged 22 points a game, that's a lot of shots being taken for him to get those. You talk about Dillon Brooks, who we know through Memphis as a shot taker. So you got a lot of shots between those 2 players that now you got for Kevin Durant, who is statistically as young as he ever was. Now, I know people say he 36, 37-year-old. I get it. But he's averaging 50, 40, 85% free throw. Like, get that back to 90, bro. That's all I'm asking. Get that free throw back to 90. But he's doing this. You replace somebody who disappeared in the NBA playoffs in Jalen Green. And again, Dillon Brooks, who defensively A1, but offensively, again, if you're talking to Memphians who know Dillon Brooks, I'm kind of scared he may see me out in public out here. That's how crazy and bad I've been talking about Dillon Brooks. But still, Kevin Durant is in a perfect position. And what I mean by that is they didn't have to get rid of their young core. And what their young core is, Alpi it's 22, 23. Amen Thompson, who I'm a big fan of, and I'm expecting him to literally take that next step. Y'all know how I feel about my third-year guards. Yes, he is a guard. I don't care about that four position ESPN gave him. He is a third-year guard, and y'all know how I feel about them. Expect a big jump for him, and now he'll have the chance to because you don't have shot chuckers like Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks on the team. You got Reed Shepherd, who barely touched the floor. He was a top 10 pick last year. You got Torrey Eason, who's a knockdown defender who you can possibly start next to anybody on the floor. And you got VanVleet, who I think that they're trying to work out the contract now. I would prefer VanVleet stay, but if they can find another point guard, of course, go for it. But what I'm looking at this team is a kind of mimicry of the Nuggets. And what I mean by that, you got a baby Joker, you got a baby Aaron Gordon, you got a baby, I ain't gonna call him a baby Jamal Murray because VanVleet been there. He's a championship winner. But you got a baby, Amen Thompson, who's a lockdown defender 1 through 4. And you ain't got no Michael Porter Jr. You got the greatest scorer of all time, Kevin Durant. The trade makes perfect sense when you consider all of those. And again, you got pieces off the bench. And your identity for the last 2 years has been defense. So you telling me everybody got to do is play defense and you go and get the greatest scorer of all time to come and join you and help you get you over the hump. And you just saw OKC put up a 7-game battle against an inferior team. Sorry, Indiana Pacers. But this shit should have been over in 5. You see OKC doing this like, okay, if I'm Kevin Durant, I need to make sure he stay. I need to make sure he stay. And y'all better make this shit happen so I can win me another ring. Ladies and gentlemen, I say all that to say that the Houston Rockets are definitely my favorites to win the NBA championship. This is the best roster Kevin Durant has been on since the Warriors. I'm putting my stamp on it. Again, we can talk about the Nets who should have been, could have been. Y'all know I ain't trusting no damn James Harden. We can talk about the Phoenix Suns who we just got done talking about. And I'm telling y'all now, I love me some Kevin Durant. Y'all know him, but the vibes out here have been terrible with him. And that's, with or without Bill, they were good, but the management, And then please, can y'all fix the arena speakers in the Phoenix arenas, please? Because they still terrible. They let me know y'all don't care. They don't care. They just out here hooping. So now you go from, again, Kevin Durant, who's statistically as young as he is, statistically, and you move into a Rockets team who can get over that hump. Give me the Rockets to win the championship next year.
Yeah, write that down. I love this move for Houston. We're talking about Houston right now. We'll talk about the other team later. I love this move for Houston mainly because this gives Ime a true shot of winning the championship. I'm not saying last season was a fluke for them to get the second seed at all. I mean, if you go back at the West, I'm looking at the standings now. From the 2 seed to the 8th seed was literally a 4-game difference. So it was a dogfight regardless out there. So if Houston was to sustain this, they had to find some type of separation. Well, Easy Money Sniper was the separation they needed. And to the point that you've always talked about, Took and Savage, about KD. KD is a plug-and-play type of guy. You don't really need to run a specific offense for him, nothing like. He knows how to score. What I'm looking at for this is what this does down the road. When KD is done with Houston, what this is going to do for our men's time with KD and learning. That man don't need, our men don't need to learn how to play defense. That man can lock them down with the best of them. But you're telling me that now the greatest scorer of all time is now going to be with you 82 games out of the year and at least 2 to 3 off seasons to help you. And so you now can mimic this without going anywhere. He's on your team. Like, you don't got to pay for a special session. I'm right here with Kevin Durant learning how to score at an early age. That's huge. That's very huge. And like I said, whatever they do with Fred VanVleet is what they'll do. But also, Alperen Sengun, man. I'll be sure, my God, the floor is going to open up for him too, because what you going to do? You can't sag off Dillon Brooks to go help down in the paint against Alperen Shore. Alperen Shore going to be a one-on-one now. And Alperen Shore can dominate with the best of them in that paint on the block. So that our man's going to have a lot of lanes to go into. Tari, Jabari, whoever's going to play the power forward, they'll be solid. You just need to play to the point that you made an Aaron Gordon type of role. And whoever they get at the point guard. Again, long term, this is great. Ime, I don't know what you're doing with Reed Shepherd. Maybe you were just keeping him in the chamber waiting for this season. Now is his season. Another young player that can learn how to score right there. And Reed Shepherd's got it. He just didn't have the confidence. Like how can you build up confidence when you're sitting on the bench? Not only just, I mean, not he sat plays during races, but during the playoffs, where was Reed at? Nowhere to be found. So I love this for Houston. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna say unfortunately. I love this for Houston.
The thing is, Sheedy, they had, what was it, 9 players to average double figures last season. And you know what I'm saying? And Reed Shepherd, you can't find a fourth of that. You know what I'm saying? With Dylan Brooks being one of them for sure, and Jalen Green being the top.
It's top 3 pick too, man. You gotta play him. He's top 3 pick.
You got to play him. So he'll get the playing time for sure. Yeah, it's a chance. I ain't gonna say he could be starring, but because of his shooting,
it could be.
He could be. He definitely could be.
Fred VanVleet is making 44 M's and got a club option for next year. I don't know what the deadline is for the club option. I can see a world where Fred VanVleet is starting point guard for the Houston Rockets next year. But he might be moved by the trade deadline, or they might let it play out and just don't sign him next year. And then you got basically year 3 of Reed Shepherd the next offseason. And Reed Shepherd, I don't know if I remember him in Kentucky. That's a defensive dog. Like he was sitting that chair on defense. He's athletic. You know, his parents were athletic. They have an athletic background. He can shoot. So you basically, again, you got Amen Thompson, you got Reed Shepherd, you got KD, who is replacing Jalen Green, who didn't play no defense, but he wanted to get his shots up. They really did a nice job of not necessarily they have a win now situation because Amen Thompson's first team all defense. Reed Shepherd can play defense. You got Jabari Smith Jr., you got Tyrese East, you got Alpi Shore, who's a all-star big man. Mm-hmm. You can set up to win right now, and then once Kevin Durant's done within 2-3 years, you can still win down the road.
The window's still open.
Yeah. The window's gonna still be open. That's the smart thing to do with Kevin Durant and with Kevin Durant's age, because he'll be hitting 40, I think, in 2 years. He won't be able to make that much money like a $50-60 million because of the veteran wage that they have for those players, where they kind of depreciate the value of the players. And so they really did a good job. They didn't give up shit. And when you think about the breadcrumbs of the trade from now going back to Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, Devin Booker, the Suns did a terrible job, man. They did, and we've talked about this on this podcast with the Phoenix Suns.
How many coaches?
It was 9? 8,
one a year,
one per year for Devin Booker. That's insane, bro. That's crazy. And not only that, we can segue right to it. Not only that, but you basically bring on you already had Brad Beal, who has a no trade clause. Devin Booker, I guess, wants to be there. I guess he does. I don't know why. I would have demanded trade by now. And then you bring in Jalen Green, who's another shooting guard. You got 3 shooting guards who need the ball in their hands to be effective. And if you tried out Devin Booker to play point guard one more time, I'm going to pull my beard hair out. I can't put my hair out here. I'm going to pull my beard hair out. Devin Booker, he can play point guard. He can do it. But I saw him score 70. They lost, but he scored 70 points. The man is a scorer. He's built to go get buckets, and he can play defense too. He's a solid defender. He deserves better than what the Phoenix Suns have given him for 10 years. They've wasted his career in Phoenix except for that 1 year. And then after that 1 year, you fire the coach. You just do all this stuff, and it just blows my mind how they've gone about doing this. So I don't really see how. I mean, you got the 10th pick if you finish. You got Jalen Green, you got Dylan Brooks, you got the 10th pick this year. I don't know who they will pick in that spot, but they have no direct means of competing in a Western Conference. They have no means of competing immediately because you look at up and down the Western Conference. You look at, are they better than Oklahoma City? No. Are they better than Houston? No. Are they better than Denver? No. Are they better than Minnesota? No. Are they better than San Antonio? No. Are they better than Dallas? No. Are they better than the Lakers? No. Are they better than the Clippers? No. Are they better than the Warriors? No. That's 9 teams. Are they better than the Grizzlies? No. That's 10 teams. Are they better than Sacramento? Probably. Are they better than Utah? Probably. Are they better than Portland? I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no right now. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no right now. I'm honest. I'm saying no. So you make and of course Jalen Green might have a huge potential that can be tapped. But why would I trust Phoenix to do that? Why? When you have the same thing with Devin Booker all this time for 9-10 years, I just can't trust it. And then you add on Dylan Brooks, who might be a malcontent at some point because he's used to winning. Dylan Brooks has won pretty much with the Grizzlies for the most part. He's won in Houston up this point. He ain't gonna be sitting here watching y'all lose and chucking up shots. I'm gonna get my shots too. If I'm Dylan Brooks. So I couldn't tell you what the Suns are doing. I'm not a fan of it. What are y'all thinking about them?
Oh my God. The bad part that what you just named is you didn't even name the second best shooting guard on your team. And that's Grayson Allen to me. I'm sorry.
Like, I forgot about Grayson.
Forgot about Grayson Allen, you know?
Grayson Allen. And y'all gonna put Grayson Allen on the trade block? I mean, he is Alex Caruso 2.0, whatever you want to call him, but he can do similar things. We just showed the value of Alex Caruso with the Thunder. Alex Caruso showed his point as well with the Lakers. But y'all did all this, and y'all also got Grayson Allen. Y'all just signed a deal for, if I remember correctly, for like 4 years, $70 million, something like that. They're making $20 million a season. And y'all went to got in more shooting guards. That's what y'all went to go do. So now Grayson Allen gonna be on the trading block. Go ahead, y'all got it. I don't know what's going on with Phoenix. They need to be talking to Brooklyn. That's who they need to be talking to, and getting some more draft picks for whoever they want, because there's no way someone, I don't know who it is. You know how they always, when they make trades, say how far will this team go? The trash. They're not going nowhere. Phoenix ain't going nowhere. What do you mean? How far will they go? They're not even going to be a playoff team. They're not even in the play-in scenario. Y'all know that. I mean, not y'all know. They were outside of the play-in this year
with Kevin Durant and Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. They got worse. Worse.
So y'all, exactly. So what do we expect here? This is now, unfortunately, it sucks for them. Honestly, it sucks for Devin Booker, because Devin Booker was 2 games away from this being a completely different franchise. And I really wholeheartedly believe, we talked about this on this show, Giannis taking off Chris Middleton, who also just signed a player option at the Washington. But once they railed off those 4 straight, Phoenix has not been the same since at all. And I hate that for Devin Booker, and I'm sorry for Devin Booker about that, but they have not been the same team. I don't know if Phoenix is cursed for that, but it's over with for Phoenix. I think, in my opinion, Phoenix should be another team blowing it up, because what are we doing? Keep Devin Booker.
The problem is if they blow it up, the Grizzlies get their pick next year. It's gonna be crazy. Damn. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of
because you're gonna be slow by default, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, and not even like slow, like they trash players, but I think it's just a lack of cohesion. Yeah. You bring in Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks to Devin Booker and Bradley Beal.
That's 25 more shots.
Yeah. What's the vibe in Phoenix? What's the vibe?
Yeah, let's hear it,
man. The vibe in Phoenix. I told y'all they like Kevin Durant, but the fact that they gave up so much to get him, because you got to understand they gave up fan favorites to get him. Not only in Mikal Bridges, but Cameron Johnson was a huge, big time fan favorite. So when they got KD, of course, I was super excited. But Phoenix is a city that I'm starting to realize that the words coming out of their mouth, we don't win shit.
Come on, Chris Tucker.
This their words, not mine, ladies and gentlemen. We just don't win shit. Whether it's the finals back a couple years ago, whether it's the finals back in the day with Barkley, whether it's the Diamondbacks a year ago or 2 years ago, whether
Cardinals,
the Cardinals against the Steelers, like that's their words, not mine. We don't win shit. So of course, everybody's was happy to have Kevin Durant, but the mindset is that we ain't gonna win shit. So if that's the city my dog has been in for the last 3 years, ladies and gentlemen, what am I supposed to say? What you know what I'm saying? So again, you ask them what are the Suns doing again? They hired the new owner came in a couple years ago. The first big splash he thought would make the city great was to bring in KD, which of course the fan base immediately kind of middled down there. And then you bring in 2 guys like this. So of course they've been wanting Dylan Brooks for a long time. Suns been wanting Dylan Brooks for a long time. There's been no secret there. But you bring in somebody like a Jalen Green, who, again, is going to take shots away from a Devin Booker. And you got still Bradley Beal, who telling y'all, I'm not going anywhere. I love it here in Phoenix. Y'all niggas going to have to waive me. Y'all better pull out the amnesty calls from back in the day. Y'all going to have to do something for me to get off this team. And when you got all these small things just quietly poking an organization, bro. Devin Booker finna be on his 19 coach with adding Budenholzer. Like, that's insanity, bro. So you ask me what the Suns are doing. I don't think they know what they're doing. They need to hit like you said, Sheedy, hit that Seth Rollins, burn it down, start anew. But it's like, what is going to be your foundation as the Suns? What is going to be your identity? What's going to be your foundation going forward? Because Devin Booker definitely deserves better, but she here, and I hate to see it for him. Thank God KD got out as soon as as soon as I thought, but he got out when he needed to.
Yeah. He even came out and was like, they wanted me gone and I wanted to be gone. I'm like, damn, how did it go downhill that fast? And if you Kevin Durant, why does that happen everywhere you go? Like, you self-sabotage Golden State. You could have won so many rings with Golden State. Nobody was stopping.
It was a self-sabotage with Golden State, though. It was just hey, you helped us beat Bron a couple times. That's all we needed you for.
But why leave that though? Honestly, you want to be.
It's the energy, bro. Like, just the energy of the world talking to you, saying you only won because you joined the 73-9 team. You only won.
But Kevin Durant swear he don't care about this stuff though. So it's like, why
cares, bro? He cares. Don't let him.
But that's also the truth, though.
And it's the truth. It's the truth.
No, like he's not gonna get a ring unless he wasn't going to get a ring. On any other team until he joined that 73.
And then he keeps going around. He kind of like a Rolling Stone dad. Like, I'm gonna go to this woman, lay up with her, had 2 kids. All right, well, it ain't working out. I'm finna go over here to Brooklyn and see if I can get a good relationship. It ain't really working out. Go to Phoenix, go out here in the desert, give me a girl. It ain't working out. Go to Houston with a number of strippers. And I'm pretty sure it's not gonna work out to the extent of them getting a ring. I don't think they're gonna win a ring next year. I don't know about to the future, but I just like
fair.
It's really self-sabotage from Kevin Durant, bro. And it's kind of messed up that Oklahoma City won the championship this year without you, which further tarnishes the legacy part. I know we don't really care about legacy, but I mean, like you said too, he cares to some extent about his perception across the league, and then like just historical conversations. We know him as one of, if not the greatest scorers of all time, but we'll never see him as the best player of a certain franchise's history. And I think that's going to bother him as he gets older.
That hurt.
That's going to bother him when he gets older. I think it will. And I think he's going to regret not settling down. Like, he don't have no kids. He ain't got no kids. He's probably not married. But I feel like he needs like to settle down in order to kind of grow and nourish the garden that he would have if he stayed down somewhere for like more than just 2-3 years.
I think this will be the perfect. I think him being a Rocket is the perfect opportunity for him to do all of that plus more.
Yeah,
I think so. I think because again, he went to school in Texas, so it's already the Texas fandom there.
True.
I really wish he would have left OKC in better standards because he could have been looked at as a star, as a foundation piece in that fan base. And now you got people saying like they don't even care for you no more. And it sucks because again, I'm rocking this jersey for sure, and I'm gonna have it for the rest of my life. But when you care and don't care, it's like he care and don't care.
That's what's bad. It's like, bro, you have to care. You have to care, bro. Like, I care about my legacy, like with my family and my kids and my job. Like, I care about that stuff, and I'm sure Kevin Durant does too. It's the facade that he puts on. Okay, word for the day. It's the facade that he puts on as if he doesn't care. Like, you 37, 38 years old and responding to trolls. I'm like, bro, let it go. Just go hoop and just lock in. Get off social media. I wish somebody would tell him that. LeBron, somebody tell him to get off social media. just hoop.
How many? So I want to have this quick conversation. I know we're about to go to something else. But like we said, the finals, we'll get there eventually next year, whatever. But like, how many rings will KD need to win in Houston for that to cement his legacy, so to speak, in Houston? Because he got 2 with Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you look at this, I mean, right now we say Oklahoma City is like his thing, like that's his child, that's his baby, so to speak. But if he's going to cement his legacy in Houston, I cannot see Houston surpassing Oklahoma City because it's not going to be there many years. It would only have to be ring talk. So he needs at least 1?
He got to get 1 at least in Houston. Okay. While in my opinion, being the reason why, because Ahmed Thompson is coming. He already here. To be honest, I said it when he got drafted. Like, this is the most athletic 6'7" dude I've ever seen in my life. Twitchy as hell. But it's kind of like you're riding the coattails of the team that was number 2 seed in the West already without you. You know what I'm saying? And again, Kevin Durant is the ultimate plug and play player. Like, I'm not gonna disrespect Kevin Durant, but I also if he cares about legacy, then we have to talk about legacy. Then that's what it is. You can't say all these things and then take off once it get hard for you. Like, nah, this is what you wanted. You wanted to be infinite. You could have had better alternatives potentially. Could have stayed and go say and won chips, 3, 4, 5, 6 chips, to be honest, in your prime of your career. Would go to say and just say it's all about basketball. It's not all about basketball. It's not. So
at least one.
I just want my dog to win one without being on a Warriors roster, bro. That's it. That's it. And I'm gonna celebrate it like it's my chance. I'm not to you, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Everybody listening, if the Rockets win the championship, bro, I'm acting like a Rockets fan. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
Wow.
I want to be the biggest Rockets fan you can.
Warriors fan, ladies and gentlemen. It's a Warriors and Grizzlies fan.
It's time, bro. It's time.
They all in the West, bro. He don't even give East no love, bro.
No love, bro. he ain't give Brooklyn his love, man. With Kyrie.
Yeah.
I tried, but shit, they couldn't formulate a roster to get him. And then they got James Harden, who, again, y'all know how I feel about him. Once they got James Harden, I knew it was a wrap, bro.
James Harden is the Took neutralizer, bro. If you ever want to just not give a fuck, just put James Harden on your team.
Oh no.
Do not put him and me and him in the same. And you got people talking about, the Rockets may try to get James Harden back. I wish them would.
Hell no, don't do this
shit. I wish they would.
Don't do this shit. Nah.
I'd rather see Russ and KD form back again than see Harden and KD come back again.
Which would also mean Russ going back to Houston. That's
Houston
crazy.
Again. That's crazy. They all play for Houston though at some point. That's crazy. KD, Russ, and Harden. That's crazy. All right, next trade. Jrue Holiday was traded for Anfernee Simons. I'll run through the details. Anfernee Simons traded to Boston for 2 second-round picks, and Portland straight up got Jrue Holiday. Jrue Holiday, those reports, Jrue Holiday came out and said he is pissed about going to Portland. As y'all know, he got traded there technically, what was it, Portland? I mean, not Portland, Milwaukee in the Dame trade. And then Portland traded them to Boston after that. So clearly he don't want to be in Portland. So I don't know why Portland made that trade. I think on paper, basketball-wise for Portland, it makes sense to put Scoot next to Jrue Holiday, to have him under, just a good veteran point guard tutelage, along with Chauncey Billups being there as well too. But I think that this means that Holiday probably won't play ball in Portland. I don't know if it's like a buyout situation or a trade down the road situation. But regardless, they got Jrue Holiday at the expense of giving up a great scorer in Anfernee Simons, and that might just be it for Anfernee Simons in terms of like all that he's really good. He don't play defense, but he can go get 40 points by himself. There's like an archetype in the league of just shooting guards that just can score but don't do shit else. They don't really win. They just score on slow teams and get traded for at some point. Bradley Beal, Anfernee Simons, whoever else. I call Desmond Bane Bradley Beal-esque, but I think he was in his specific role as a third option with Ja and Jaren. So Simon's going to be getting buckets in Boston with Tatum out. And now, and we'll get to that later, with Kristaps, Porzingis out. I don't know what else Boston got planned, but they are deep in the second apron right now. So you got to shed the fat somewhere. And they shed it with Jrue Holiday and they shed it with KP, which we'll get into a little bit later. As far as how it impacts Boston, I've said it in previous episodes that Boston should tank, quote unquote. Not that they can, but at the same time, they might. If everybody in the East getting better and Boston is trimming the fat and allowing Anfernee Simons to put up buckets, we know he can. I don't think that necessarily means you're going to win games to the extent they won it in previous years. It might be like a 5th or 6th seed, depending on how the East pans out with the draft and the trade deadline. And then Portland played much better in the second half of the season. I still think they got one more step to take and one or two more moves to make before I'm ready to say they are a high-end play-in team, low-end playoff team. But I see the vision for what they're doing. I see what they're trying to do. They're playing better basketball. Now it's a matter of like, okay, what veterans can we surround our young pieces with? Clingan, Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharpe, those players. To make our team more respectable, which I think this trade does that. Anfernee Simons is not the future of their team. We know that. He's been there for like 10 years and looked like he's only about 21 years old. So it was time to let go of Anfernee Simons in favor of letting other players get a chance to run the show. So I like it for Portland for sure. And for Boston, I think Boston made this move with the intent of trading Anfernee Simons at some point down the road because he has an expiring contract, and I don't see them signing him beyond this season. He doesn't really fit what they. I mean, he does fit in terms of like offensively, but defensive tenacity ain't there for Anfernee Simons, in my opinion. So good move for both teams, but I think this is a move for another move down the road.
Yeah, until you said that, I was like, okay. So clearly we know, Tatum's gonna be out. But do you move D White to the point guard position, be more facilitator than Anfernee Simons and have Anfernee Simons off ball? And I was with that notion up until you said what you just said about trading Anfernee Simons. And yeah, I think they do get rid of Anfernee Simons. Why? Because they want to keep Peyton Pritchard.
Yep.
And you're gonna have to pay Peyton Pritchard. And Peyton Pritchard is gonna come in and play the point guard role. He's just $6 million a year, right? You hate to let that go away without anything. And he's no $6 man this year because they need that man immediately without Tatum. So yeah, to your point, I think Anfernee Simons, this is another step in the move that they'll move him somewhere. I also think Jrue. I think this trade was pointless, by the way. There's another pointless trade we'll talk about. Because by the trade deadline, I don't think either one of these people are going to be with the same team as they were.
Jrue might be on their start of the season. He might be going to LA or something. I start the season.
I really think so.
You're going to be on by the end of the pod.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, man. If he gets bought out, oh man. I mean, there's a lot of interesting teams, but I couldn't. Him in Dallas. Oh, because Dallas ain't got to pay nothing for real. Once you get bought out, hey man, you don't need that much money after that. He just sits there, keeps it warm, the seat warm for Kyrie. Oh my God, yeah. And that's a reunion of him and AD. People forget what they did with the Pelicans.
Yep.
Woo! Just throwing it out there.
So because we started this podcast, Savage, you said earlier in this episode, 3-4 years ago. A year from now, because we're gonna be around, ladies and gentlemen. We mid-budget.
We ain't going nowhere.
Damn right.
We're going no damn where. We're gonna have a real conversation on how the new laws, second aprons, it messed up the league. It's messing up the league, I'm gonna say, because in my opinion, it's already messed up. But y'all know how I feel about far views and seeing things in the future. What up, my guy? It's messing up the league. We're not able to see championship teams stay together. Therefore, we aren't able to really represent. Let's say the Denver Nuggets, for example. Nuggets should have been the next dynasty. If they would have had what the Spurs had 10 years ago, they would have been the next dynasty. I'm talking about tax money and all that BS. No second, they ain't have to worry about no second apron, no first apron, all that BS. And I get that the NBA trying to make everything equal, but you messing up franchises who, again, doing it the right way. The Celtics did it the right way from the foundation of getting Tatum and Brown to trading for a Holiday to make sure they got the veterans. And now they having to play we gotta save money card. They're a championship team. They're historically great. They shouldn't be having to go through this BS. Now, if you want to trade Holiday and Simons just cause, cool. But the fact that you're doing it because you get to save $40 million, I mean, it's understandable when you talk about the second apron, all that BS. But again, I can't wait 2 years down until we have that conversation. I know a lot of people view this as a pointless trade, but again, these franchises got to think about stuff like this in order for them to, I guess, not pay or either bring in different talent. Anfernee Simons, big fan of his in Portland. I think he'll be traded just because, again, why you trade you Holiday? It's to save money for next year. And again, I know it's making it challenging for teams to put a championship team together. But again, if we're not able to see any cohesiveness and any consistency, then NBA fans are going to be looking like, and we are now, who the hell is on this team? Why am I watching? OKC doing it the right way. I hope they continue to do it the right way. But it's going to take somebody to be like, I don't need this much money. And in this day of society and greed, ain't nobody going to do that. So,
I was just gonna say, like, I wonder if they want players who are like second tier, third tier to be like, do I need a max contract? Do I really want to value winning. So, like for example, Oklahoma City. At some point, they're going to have this conversation with Shea and J-Dub and Chet Holmgren. They're going to have to figure out, like, is J-Dub the kind of guy where it's like, I can go get my own team, get $500 million and, you know, be the guy? Or do I understand that, I mean, maybe I'm good, but I'm not that good to run my own team. So I'll take, you know, a lesser contract. But even if J-Dub take a lesser contract, then you got to deal with Chet. It's like, okay, Shea going to have $650 million. That's just what it's going to be. This is the best player in the league right now. You got J-Dub, who arguably had like a Scottie Pippen-esque sort of impact on the NBA Finals. He had a 40-point game. And then you got Chet is still developing, but he's not a max contract player. But somebody will be willing to give him the max contract, I'm sure. Just say, hey, come over here, be my big man, my 4, my 5, whatever. So his agent's gonna tell him that, like, hey, Chad, you can go make this money over in Boston or Brooklyn, wherever else, whoever got money at that time. Or do you want to stay as a third wheel in Oklahoma City, where you may or may not get an all-star appearance, you may or may not get an all-NBA appearance, but if you get more shots and you get more FGAs, it's like now you have a chance to make more money based on how the contracts are already written to get incentive-based, you know, money, extra money. So I guess it's kind of like the players have to check themselves and be like, am I really worth this? Do I want to like invest in myself, which most of them tend to do anyway? We saw that with James Harden. James Harden was like, give me my money. And Oklahoma City didn't want to do that. He said, I bet. I'm going to Houston. And what happened? MVP, several all-star appearances, all NBA, one of the best players to ever play basketball. And it paid off for him. But at the same time, you're going to have cases where it don't pay off for these players. So it's all about the players having faith in themselves to make that happen. That's going to be interesting to see within the next, I guess, before the next CBA, if they continue to allow the second apron be a situation. People mad at CJ McCollum right now. They sent that man to Washington where all the bad presidents go.
I get it. Hilarious. That's actually hilarious.
The question that will have to be asked in Garden with the second apron is, to Tuke's point, do you want to find a way to keep this as a dynasty or be a dynasty, or do you want to make millions upon millions upon millions of dollars? And that's just really the conversation that has to be had per player. What do you want to do? And to be honest, I mean, you know, there's a $20 million difference between $50 million and $30 million. That's a $20 million difference per year. But man, could I get 2 more rings so I took a discount? Yeah, probably so. Or at least be contending. Or you can go to a Washington, a Utah, and be the guy that no one ever cares about, but you're collecting your check though.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of an example of a player that left a good situation and it didn't really work out after they left and became the guy. I'm trying to think of a situation. I'm about to talk about
Poole, the nigga you need to take out our intro video.
That was not his fault, though. He got punched into Washington.
You should have been in period, damn it. You are a troll.
He got punched into him.
Yeah. And Jordan Poole,
Nah, don't do it. Don't do it. Save face, bro. Next. don't even do it. Which I guess he will be the next.
Damn.
I mean, look, I told y'all I wasn't making the graphic.
Over me?
I wasn't making the graphic, so I got to add y'all back to the chat now. Yes. Here we go. Oh, yeah, I wasn't making the graphic, so this is the graphic that I have right now. I'm not making no more graphics with these trades. An hour up into the show, but yeah, this is the graphic about Jordan Poole, the Jordan Poole trade. It was Wizards received CJ McCollum, Kelly Olynyk in a second. The Pelicans received Jordan Poole, Sadiq Bey, and this year's 40th pick. I mean, the trade happened. I don't really have much to say about the trade. I think New Orleans, for right now, they're solid. Jordan Poole is probably going to be the 4th or 5th best player on the team. You got DeJounte Murray, Herb Jones. Who's got Trey Murphy, Zion, if he's still there. Yeah, it's not bad. Jordan Poole's not a bad player, too. He's not a bad player.
He's not a good one.
Okay, two things can be true.
That's my point.
Two things can be true.
And he get paid like one.
Hey, Candy.
What up,
I seen you in the comments. Hey, Candy.
So is it Suns or Pelicans? With the rosters as is?
Who's better?
Mm-hmm.
Suns or the Pelicans? Damn.
The fact that's
a question.
That's
crazy. Yeah. And mind you, neither one of them are going to be in the playoffs or a play-in. But a question.
Okay, hold on. Look at the standings.
Who's the better team between the Suns and the?
So the Pelicans were hurt a lot last year.
It don't even matter.
They won 21 games while being hurt. The Suns won 36 with Kevin Durant.
Now you're taking right. So now
let me take Xavier real quick. Hold on. Xavier, if you watch,
that's a good Damian Adams question. That's a good Damian Adams question because I legit don't know. I'm like, the Pelicans. I mean, look, Damian might be really positive about it. I think he tends to be positive about the Pelicans prior to the season, and then stuff just happens to the Pelicans always. I think if the Pelicans have any amount of health, I mean, we saw it 2 years ago when Zion was about to beat the Lakers in the play-in, and then he got hurt in like the third or fourth quarter, and the Lakers came back and won, and they got the 7th seed, I believe. So I think if the Pelicans are healthy, they can compete in the Western Conference. It's just they're never healthy. Brandon Ingram was always hurt. Zion was always doing something crazy. Yeah, it's just kind of how it is. So if they're healthy, DeJounte Murray, Poole, Zion, Trey Murphy, Herb Johnson, they have good players. They got good players. I like their roster better than Phoenix right now. Yes.
Okay. There we go.
I don't know.
Come on, Tuke. Nah, come on. Talk about it.
Come on, Lee.
I don't even know who the center for the Suns is.
Me? I go out there. Who is center? Because it ain't Nurkic, right? He out there.
No, Nurkic on the Hornets now.
Yeah, he out there. Yeah.
Is it Nick Richards?
I see Bol. I see.
No.
Who else?
They got a team full of guards and
who's also Iguodaro. Mason Plumlee.
Give me an assistant coach.
Nick Richards, Royce O'Neal.
Royce? Oh wow.
Royce O'Neal, like Royce the 5'9", but
yeah, about not the 5'9".
Give me Pelicans, bro.
That's crazy, bro.
That is wild.
That's crazy.
That's a good question, Sheedy.
That's crazy, bro. So yeah, I'm not making any Jordan Poole bets, so don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. No bets, no bets. I will see it on the court. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Hey, he might get traded too. They got moves to make. They got a lot of moves to make, honestly. And the next trade, again, no graphics. I ain't doing it. Boston traded Kristaps Porzingis to the Atlanta Hawks. And the Hawks received KP in a second pick. Boston receives George Niang in a second pick. The Nets received Terrence Mann and this year's 22nd pick. The Nets now have 5 first-round picks for this year, 8, 19, 22, 26, 27, which leads people to believe, like me, to believe that you are not going to make 5 picks this year in the NBA draft. I mean, there aren't that many players you want to take in the first round more times than not. So if you trading up for somebody that you like, or you trading those picks away to get somebody that you like. I mean, I joked about Giannis a little bit earlier in the show and in the pre-show. I don't see them trading for Giannis, but when you get 5 first-round picks, I think I'm not saying anything is possible, but I mean it's probable at this point.
Conversation starter,
right? Now the big piece of the trade is Kristaps Porzingis. Obviously, he's the best player in the deal. You put him with Trae Young, Dyson Daniels, Ricochet, and Jalen Johnson. That is a long lineup around Trae Young, and I actually kind of like that. I mean, Dyson Daniels is DPOY. Ricochet had a good second half of the year. Johnson got hurt, but I liked him going into the year. I thought he would be most improved player. He still can do it next year, honestly. So you got long wings, and if KP can stay healthy, I doubt it. Then you got something. But I think Atlanta is kind of segueing away from Trae Young anyway. And I think this kind of helps them during that process. Now, if Trae Young is who they want to build around long term, sure. I like the three guys they got in the middle of that between point guard and center. And somebody from that three is going to rise to the top. Dyson Daniels had a very good year last year. Obviously, he won DPOY. And then you got Richard Shea knocking down threes. Jalen Johnson's athletic. They building something in Atlanta to counteract what they doing in Orlando. And not Miami, Sheedy. I'm sorry. But yeah, what y'all thinking about that trade?
Did Clint Capella get traded yet?
No, he's still there.
He going somewhere apparently.
Lakers.
I think Lakers wanted him. Yeah, Lakers want everybody. So yeah, I think he pretty much gone at that point. He ain't gonna be starting. So why would I go off the bench if I've been starting for the past 7-8 years? You know.
I mean, the Hawks didn't give up too much to get somebody that could actually help their team if he played. Emphasis on the help. You know,
what did he have this year? People were joking that he had like kind of STD or something. I'm like, what happened?
What, STD?
That's what they were saying. They were joking that he had like
gingivitis.
Gingivitis is crazy.
I was like, you go to Atlanta and spread that shit?
No, that's it. I was like,
it's already there. It's already there.
Like, look, man, for real. To the wrong spot.
Oh my goodness.
How do I feel about this? It definitely makes, when you look at everything that's been happening in the East, you look at the top 6 teams: Cavs, Celtics, Knicks, Pacers, Bucks, Pistons of last season, and then the Hawks were right behind the Magic and the Heat. Oh. The Cavs are starting the season without Garland. The Celtics are starting without Tatum. The Pacers are starting without Halliburton. The Bucks are starting without Lillard. Of those teams I just named, 4 out of 6. Might as well keep going. Suggs is not starting with the Magic. That's 5. I mean, you better win these games in the beginning. Get a good start on it and get yourself in a good spot. I still don't see, to your point that you're saying though, they're trying to get away from Trae Young being that guy. And I do think it is going to be one of the guys in the middle. I hope it's Richard Shea. I mean, y'all got the first pick for him for a reason. I hope it's him. But I can see one of the other ones being that too. And, you know, just enjoy it, because if there was ever fucking Pat Riley a time for the East and throw everything in the motherfucking bag like Fab, this was the season to do it.
Yeah.
And shit, who knows? Like, we have seen Trae Young drag the Hawks all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. I'm not saying that can be happening next year, but hell, they can be off to a very good start. And the chemistry, KP is a pick and pop type of guy. Mm-hmm. So who you gonna cover? You gonna cover Trae or you gonna cover KP? And if Trae goes to the paint, then what? Like, it's gonna be real. I'm gonna say it's gonna be challenging. But I think that, and who's their coach? Quinn Snyder, right? Still there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think Quinn's a really good, underrated coach as well. So, in all actuality, I mean, I like it for the Hawks. The Hawks this season should be a playoff team. With everything I just named about all the other players that will be sitting out, the Hawks should have a good enough starting point that they should remain in the playoffs, a top 6 seed when it's all said and done.
I like that shit.
Barring injury.
Yeah. And it's even if, you know, KP even play, you know, 50 games. I think the games he will play, you'll see an impact, because just the hooper that Trae Young had, a bunch of hoopers on that team, to be honest with you. Yeah. But, Savage, real question. Is this the last trade we talking about? Because I got to ask you a real question.
Go ahead, bro.
I feel like mental health is more important than the NBA Finals. And my dog is bubbling. Can we please just let him go?
I mean,
he started. Like,
honestly, I feel like letting it go is better out than in, as a counselor would say. So if you would like to unleash, I will give you the floor. Go ahead, Sheedy. Yes, you. I feel like the sun beaming on you right now. It's giving you the spotlight, honestly. It's giving you the spotlight. So I'll get out the way. Look, I'm a team player. I understand what's happening to score, I'm saying when it's time to get the hell out the way, I will get out the way.
Let me put my shit on mute right now.
Okay. Thank you so kindly. Pat, we are now in win fucking now mode immediately. And you mean to tell me that it was between us and Houston? And you didn't want to give up what? Who? Who do you want to give up? Khalil, where would have been gone? I'd have packed the shit myself. Hayward Highsmith, he can defend. I would have already been in Phoenix. I'd already set up a zip code. He got kids. I'd have put him in elementary school already. You keep with this wannabe Joker that keeps not getting any playing time. We don't know what he plays, what position he plays. Gone. Jaime Jaquez Jr. Jaime Jaquez Jr. Because you don't say the J when you're Spanish, Junior. Did we not see what happened in the second season? Gone. The 20th pick? Who in their right mind gives a fuck about the 20th pick when you got Kevin Durant, easy money sniper, sitting at your doorstep telling you, yes, I would like to come to Miami. Yes, you don't have to give away Tyler Hero or Bam Adebayo to get me. Just trade for me. And a kicker here, I'm willing to sign an extension to stay. That would easily put us in a top 6 position for the remainder years that he is with us. And if you add Kevin Durant and take away all those players I just named, I don't give a fuck. And I think we will get Royce the 5'9" as well. So we get Kevin Durant and Royce the 5'9" because we're going to be rapping and selling gifts at the same time at Miami. You mean to tell me you didn't want to get this deal done again? Don't get it wrong, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the first time we struck out on Kevin Durant, by the way. Oh, you got time? Cool. We didn't get Donovan Mitchell either. Oh, okay.
You got Davion Mitchell.
You got Davion. Cute Spider-Man. We didn't want to get Damian Lillard. We didn't want to go on for Damian Lillard. Okay. Here we are. You know what, Pat? Jimmy was right. Jimmy did everything he could. He asked you to get a star player next to him. And what the fuck did you get? Did you fuck around and go get Antoine Walker again? What the fuck is going on? I am exhausted as a fan. Exhausted. I don't know what you're waiting on. I swear to goodness, if we trade for DeMar DeRozan, I'm going to blow my shit. I don't want DeMar DeRozan. I don't. If anything, go get Jonathan Kuminga. If you gonna do that, go get Jonathan Kuminga. Give me something a little bit younger with a different hairline. That's fine. But damn it, do not go get DeMar. Please don't get Zach LaVine. Please don't get Bradley Beal. Please don't do none of that dumb shit. You have shown me that we are literally going to pretty much run it back again. But you said we weren't going to run it back, Pat. Your 80-year-old ass. And here we are about to run it the fuck back. We are having our roster intact. We still got Kevin Love. We still got Terry Rozier. We still have Kyle Anderson. All these tradable ass pieces. And you didn't want to go get Kevin Durant? I just named the Cavs are starting without Darius Garland. The Celtics will not have Tatum. The Pacers are not going to have Halliburton. The Bucks are not going to have Lillard. That is 4 teams in front of you.
Philly is always hurt. So yeah.
Philly. Who knows when Joel will come back? And Paul George. I mean, the teams that are behind you, I mean, the Hawks just got better.
Yeah. Magic got better.
Magic right above us got
Detroit
better.
Getting better.
The Pistons are not going nowhere. And the Knicks are not going anywhere.
Yeah.
If there was ever a time to say, hey, you know what? What do you want? I'm knocking on the door of Phoenix. I'm paying for a catered meal. I'm paying for the wings to get delivered to Phoenix. What do you want? Because we want Kevin Durant. You clearly did not want Kevin Durant. Just be honest. Because there's no way they came down to 2 teams, us and Houston. And what Houston gave up Jalen Green. And who else?
Dylan Brooks, 10th pick and 2nd round picks.
And we couldn't give up 3 players and the 20th pick and 2 second round. Are you fucking kidding me? You got to be fucking kidding me. I'm pissed, exhausted. Thank y'all for letting me let that get out because I just don't understand what's going on. I'm tired of and Heat reporters, Heat Nation. Again, let me be honest with you. I do not want DeMar DeRozan. I'm saying this as of June 24th, 2025 at this time. I do not want DeMar DeRozan. I don't. If you're going to go to that team of Sacramento, go bring me back Malik Monk. And give me Malik Monk and JV. Bring them two on over here, and then we can talk. But you got to be fucking kidding me. I'm over it.
I think the main thing is, Sheedy, why get a star when you got a hero?
Wow. I'm about to turn this off.
I'm asking. It's a serious question.
I'm about to turn this off.
It's a serious question. I'm just saying. You remember a couple months ago when you made fun of me? Yeah, I told you I was gonna get you back. Yeah, karma. Karma. Do not play with me ever again. That go for both of you.
Touche.
Hey, I'm just waiting on my moment. So I'm just waiting on my moment. I know mine ain't moment ain't can't yet. I'm just waiting on my moment.
Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue, Sheedy.
Hey man. Then I saw somewhere it's about Bam Adebayo. The top favorites to get him is like LA and the Grizzlies.
Like what?
Bovada. I was like, I mean, I would take in a vacuum. I would take Bam Adebayo, absolutely. But
real shit, Sheedy, would you be upset at a reset with a Seth Rollins?
I wouldn't be if I was you, Sheedy.
If I were you, bro, I wouldn't be mad with a Seth Rollins, bro. Burn this shit out.
No, because right now we have struck out on the one thing to me would move the needle for us and keep the needle up there for a couple of seasons. Because even if we got KD right this year, as we should have, the next year we'd have lost some more money, right? We'd have got rid of some more players and we'd have more money to spend on other players.
And even if y'all didn't keep KD, he would have been off the books. That's like 50 ends off the books.
Exactly.
Along with Terry
what? I mean, come on, dog. Yes, man. I would be okay. We have no choice. I would be okay with it.
Damn. Well, yeah, I'm glad you were able to, release your emotions, Sheedy.
Mental health is important, bro. I told you. Thank you for this platform.
He saw I was hitting at it the whole game. The whole
sun started beaming on that man. I'm like, damn, he getting lit up.
Pissed.
In happier news, well, I won't say happy because the situation's kind of weird, but the NBA draft is tomorrow. It's a foregone conclusion that Cooper Flag will be number one pick. If San Antonio keeps the second pick, they probably gonna pick Dylan Harper, and then after that, it's kind of a crapshoot because of Ace Bailey and how he has handled the NBA draft process. He is allegedly a 6'8", 6'9", kind of forward/guard sort of player. Played at Rutgers with Dylan Harper. They didn't win anything at Rutgers. They had a bad team, but NIL rules all, so it's all about the dollar bill. And from what I've seen in reports is that not Dylan Harper, but Ace Bailey has canceled workouts with teams. This is the supposed number 3 pick in this year's draft, and he canceled these workouts with the Sixers. He's canceled workouts with apparently teams that already have established top players. So obviously Philadelphia has Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and even Jared McCain last year came on pretty well for his injury. Teams that are below Philadelphia are also not receiving workouts with Ace Bailey. And it seems that he wants to go to the Washington Wizards, which is probably why they traded for like CJ McCollum and these other players. They already got Alex Sard, and you get rid of a shot chucker in Jordan Poole to probably make way for a shot chucker in Ace Bailey. But how do y'all feel about how he's handled this process in terms of like, I think, because I don't want to slander him too much, obviously, because he's a young player. He's like 19 years old. He's a kid going into the NBA. But at the same time, this is a literal job interview. You know what I'm saying? You have to at least respect the process to some extent. Well, I guess he just spent the process with Philadelphia. But y'all know speaking of Philadelphia, I'm an Eagles fan. And a big thing about the Eagles is even in the NFL, they have what they call top 30 visits. So top 30 visits is when the NFL team can bring in their top 30 people they want to pick at whatever point in the NFL draft. And so you only get so many picks in the NFL draft. And so from there, you pick whoever is on your big board, and you move forward from there. More times than not, I would say, if you look at the Philadelphia Eagles' history of free agency, the players that they signed in free agency came in for top 30 picks during their rookie season going into the NFL draft. So what I'm saying with that is that doing that interview, in 2025 could also be an interview for 2030. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, we talked to him then, he was a young player, but we saw the potential. And then if they see you and you perform well, or maybe not so well to that extent, where the team that drafts you might give up on you, they might say, nah, he was a good dude. If he came into our system, we'll be able to use him better. And at this point, we got better pieces around him to help him flourish. You know what I'm saying? A la AJ Brown with the Philadelphia Eagles. And so I think the way that Ace Bailey has handled it, I know his dad is representing him. I'm not a big fan of how he's gone about doing it. I understand it from the individual standpoint of, I want to be empowered myself. I don't want to go to Philadelphia. I don't want to go to San Antonio. I don't want to go to Charlotte or wherever else. But at the same time, this is the NBA. The money is going to be the money. And if you are good enough, you should be good enough wherever you decide to go, honestly. Of course, you got situations where like Phoenix, poor GM, poor culture, poor environment. That shit does happen, but that's when you become a free agent. And then you talk to other teams in the midst of your rookie evaluation period. You can build those relationships and say, okay, I want to get traded to this team. Thinking about Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane came in as a good character. He was a senior in college, interviewed with the teams. He got picked, I think, 30th in the NBA draft. But when he got traded to Orlando was pretty much gushing over getting Desmond Bane. So if you establish that relationship early on in the process, you're able to have rapport with other teams, not just the one that you're on right now. So I think they're doing him a disservice, even himself doing himself a disservice of basically canceling workouts and not saying I'm gonna work out for any of these teams. That's kind of crazy for him to do that. And I thought about you, Sheedy. I'm like, would you, as a parent, be like if Ace, if you want to call him Ace, if Aiden was in this process of like he is a top 3 pick, but y'all might have already in mind, I don't want to go to Minnesota, or we don't want to go to Utah. We're not doing a workout with y'all. How would y'all go about doing that with y'all's kids, including you two, whenever you had kids?
I will say this: if I'm in that scenario, unlike many other things, your dream is to play in the NBA. It's not to play on a specific team, it's to play in the NBA. So if one of those 30 teams is calling you, then motherfucker, I'm answering the phone. I'm going to prepare myself to be there. And I think at that point, God's going to true. I hope Aiden will be humble enough to take that on if God blesses him to be there. But your dream is to play in the NBA. It doesn't matter what the team is. Your work ethic is going to prove, hey, I need to be traded, or hey, I won't sign my contract after this, but I'm going to show my worth here. Let's be honest here, by the way, before we go any further. I don't know. We talked about college basketball a little bit earlier, pre-show, but let's just be honest here. Rutgers was not in the round of 68. They weren't a Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4 team. So what leg are you really standing on right now besides just your namesake, to be honest? Because I agree and I disagree about the interview. One of the bigger interview parts is that March Madness time. When you're playing the best of the best, or even like your tournaments within your specific SEC, Big Ten, those tournaments, that's another part of the interview process to see how you're playing against the best of the best. We didn't see that. We just going off your name right now. You didn't drag your team to anywhere in the 68 to play in the 64 to do all that. You weren't there. I don't remember Rutgers, Scarlet Knights. I don't remember that. So how dare you, bro? Like I would not. This should leave a terrible taste in everyone's mouth. I would not want him because he's telling you right now at this age, if I don't like it, I'm not going to be a part of it. That means even if you draft me, I'm not going to be a part of you. He might be doing the same shit that the dude is from the Bengals, for real. And just, hey, this draft ain't going to work out. He might got to go somewhere else, play overseas, something like that, and try it there. But no, at the end of the day, if your dream is to play, no one says, oh, I want to play for the Cowboys. Some they might, but I didn't grow up saying, "Oh, I want to play for the Cowboys," or "Oh, I want to grow up and play for the Heat." It was, man, I can't wait to go play in the NFL. I can't wait to play in the NBA. And if you are it's only 30 chances of that. 30. One of them's not gonna be it. Okay, cool. But at least you're in the NBA. You're not humble, bro. That I can't speak for that. And again, when it was time to show me that you deserve to play in the NBA for real, I ain't see you.
So it's crazy because when I started seeing this, I don't know why the first thing I started thinking about was the younger generation, right? And Aiden's included. So I'm speaking on behalf of, and I appreciate everything you just said, Sheedy, but I would imagine us being Agent Uncle Took, right? Mm-hmm. And of course you're dad and you're giving him that great advice, but me, I'm over here looking like, if my son just made $1.5 million in college, maybe money's not the most important thing to him. And I get he's about to lose out, but we all here sat on this podcast and talked about Bronny being a 55th pick and said if he had a successful career, getting to that second contract is the most important thing. Say all that to say this. We already know Coop going number 1. Number 2, Spurs pretty much got who they got. But if you look and see who's next, what I want, let's just say either yes or no. I want both of us to answer this. Put Aiden in Bailey's shoes. Aiden is this 6'8", 6'9" forward guard, whatever you want to call him, who again made $1.5 million in college and can hoop. Would I want him playing for the Sixers right now? And again, yes or no? I'm saying no.
I want to say again, if the dream is to play in the NBA, so yes.
Take money out of it.
I'm not saying money. NBA ain't got money. I agree. I agree with what you're saying about money, but if I thought this was a thing, then I'll say my ass in college.
And that's a good option. That's a good one.
I think I would say yes to, not if it's just about basketball. I'm gonna just assume that Embiid gonna be hurt or whatever, and so that's more opportunity for you to shine. I'm thinking about Jerry McCain last year. Jerry McCain was like, I forget what pick he was, but he wasn't like a high lottery pick. But he came out and was damn near rookie of the year for the first couple of weeks. And you got backseat. So I think you could
worry about Paul George.
Yeah. So I probably would say yeah.
You got to worry about a couple other players who's, again, you're a top 3 pick, and if you go to this team, you're gonna come off the bench. But let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving for podcast. Let's keep it moving. Okay. But I want him to play for the Hornets.
I wouldn't know. I say.
But I want him to play for the Jazz. He black in Utah. No. He has a I'm good. But again,
I don't want Vernon Maxwell in my ear. That's crazy.
Would I want him to play for the Wizards?
Yeah, I can do that. I can do Washington. Yeah.
All right, that's number 6. Would I want him to play for the Pelicans? I'm telling you now, no.
Nah, I won't. But
no.
I say no.
Brooklyn.
I can do Brooklyn.
Sheedy, you good with Brooklyn? I'm good with Brooklyn because it's a fresh place to start, and they ain't really got no players, so you can be literally face of a franchise.
I can do Brooklyn.
Toronto.
Nah, I don't want to go to Canada. I'm good on Canada.
I actually love Toronto.
And then we got Phoenix. So out of the top 10 teams, you only got 2 to 3 that you may want to rock with. And again, on an Asian aspect, I want you to get to that second contract so you can have a legitimate career. If I send you to any other of these teams, you're going to either A, get the bag and be super unhappy, or you're going to go to a team where you won't get a lot of playing time and a la Jonathan Kuminga, and you won't get the contract that you deserve. So again, if I'm Ace Bailey, I kind of understand where he's coming from, to be honest with you, because again, we're taking money out of this situation.
That's fair. I mean, when you brought up Kuminga, that makes it a little bit more like, okay, because Kuminga got shitted on. Now, granted, Golden State is a very specific situation because not every team got the greatest shooter of all time, one of the greatest defensive players of all time, top 15 coach of all time. So that's, I can see that. Philly's kind of like the complete opposite of Golden State in that regard, where you got good players, but not as good of an environment as Golden State would have. So, but he don't want to go to Philly. Apparently, he want to go to. I think he want to go to Washington. Yeah. But I mean, right now, I probably wouldn't.
So here's the thing with Washington. I think Washington, they're bringing in a lot of veterans for a reason.
By the way, play-in team.
They bringing in veterans for a reason, bro. And I don't know. I feel like a shift in culture is going on with the Misses. Granted, they still gonna be mid, but you can kind of tell, like, hold on, we trying to do a little something. And if Ace Bailey could find his
Marcus Smart, you got dogs with Marcus Smart, Chris Middleton's a champion, CJ McCollum is the president of NBPA. You're setting it up for
Alex Starr was the #1 pick last year. I mean,
you're setting it up for Ace Bailey to be successful.
He could be the franchise player in a couple of years.
Yeah.
And I know win now scenario.
Let him cook.
Yeah, I'm with it. I actually like him in Washington. I think that's a good fit for him in terms of like what he wants. Washington hasn't necessarily won anything. It's been a long time, to be honest. It's been 40-some years. West Sunset. And then also, like, so you got Chris Middleton, who's there. You got Marcus Smart, who's I think he's going to stay there. I'm not sure. Alex Sarr is there. You got Kispert. They actually got a good roster. It's solid out. It's not great, but you got decent young players. You're getting decent veterans in there. Kispert, Bub Carrington, Bilal Coulibaly. Because you getting some good players around it. It's a matter of like who is going to be the coach. That's what's going to be the situation for Washington. I kind of hope he does go to Washington, but I also want to see what happened in Philadelphia. Just said, F that, we drafting you, buddy. Yep. Come on here with Philadelphia with the process. Would love to see that. We also get breaking news right now. Kyrie Irving has declined his $44 million contract, and he's getting signed for 3 years, $119 with a player option in 27-28.
He just signed that?
He's about to. Yeah, he's about to.
I like it.
So it's similar. It's similar money. It's a little bit less. So they're probably getting some flexibility, some wiggle room for. I mean, they're bringing in Cooper Flag. And I was one to say they should probably consider trading AD. I ain't say do it, but I'm saying you might want to consider it. So you
got to see what they look like healthy first.
I do, for sure. For sure, I do because AD. Look, I'm an AD biggest fan. You know that. But you know, I also understand that's a $3 Hardaway amendment. You know, strike with an iron heart, man. You got to do it. I don't know if y'all knew or not, but we had an NBA Finals game.
I forgot about that.
Sunday, you know. Oklahoma City Thunder, they actually won the NBA Finals. And I wanted to ask y'all, we ain't got to get to details of it. We know Oklahoma City won. Halliburton got hurt, you know, blah, blah. What will y'all remember about the OKC team? What stands out the most from Oklahoma City?
Them doing it the right way. I mean, I mentioned it earlier in the podcast, but they got a star. They got veterans around this star. And they said, oh, okay, let's get pieces around this star. And you got the hierarchy, which you mentioned a couple podcasts this week and last about the payroll hierarchy. Shay gonna get paid, blah, blah, blah. We get that. But just doing it the right way, building around a superstar who wants to be the man, who he wants to be it. I've told several people over this past weekend, like, this is the closest thing we're going to get to Kobe, I think, in a minute, respectfully, because he just got it in him. He just do. Shay, I know a lot of people saying, you know, he's the greatest Thunder of all time, which I will have to agree with now because he's done the trifecta of winning, scoring, champ, finals MVP, and, of course, the ring. So you got to give it to him. And I think, honestly, that's probably what I remember most is that now the NBA hypothetically has a face of the league now. Now, what he decides to do with it, we'll figure it out. Because again, OKC can very well be here next year. I know I said I got the Rockets winning, but again, it could be a Rockets and OKC, you know, NBA West Conference Finals, excuse me. So just a good season, a great season by OKC, and again, MVP. Shea deserved everything that is coming to him.
Yeah, the thing that comes to me when I think about Oklahoma City, is team. I can't think of another team, you know, team better than them clearly, right? Because they won the finals, but also think about how they just crafted and became who they are, right? They stopped doing the interviews with everyone else. They wanted to bring on the guy that does the local interviews because once they started getting the spotlight, everybody wanted to interview him. Like, nah, we're gonna bring the local guy back.
That was
the towels on them, right? They don't travel alone, right? When they do interviews, they're team interviews. Team is standing behind them. So to me, my first and best word for them is team. And this is a team that is ready to go and move on next year. And to the point that you made, to the holes that they saw that they need to fix, Sam Presti said, I got it. Don't worry. I'll get Alex Caruso. I'll get Hartenstein. We don't need Chet to play big. I'll get Hartenstein for us.
Yep, that was key.
Right?
Yep.
Just in case Lou Dort ain't gonna work out, I'll go get Alex Caruso real quick. And everything that he made a preference for panned itself out. If it wasn't Hartenstein, it was Caruso playing that amazing defense on the Joker. That's crazy to say that, but amazing defense on him. Put themselves in scenarios. It's not just one person. Of course, SGA will get the spotlight, but when SGA couldn't do it, Jalen Williams will put up 40. And even when Chet was down, let's not forget this team went part of this season without Chet Holmgren and had one of the smallest starting lineups with Jalen Williams playing more of the 4 or 5 at that time, and still won over 90% of their games at that time. Still, so team is what I would say.
I like that. Good. Bring back good memories. You got some wings from me off that, didn't it?
I did. You off it.
Yeah, I think what I remember about the Oklahoma City is I agree. It's the team component, and not even just the players on the court, but you get the players, all 3 levels: the players, the coaches, and the front office. Sam Press has been there since Seattle, if I'm not mistaken. So he's seen the highs and the lows of roster construction. And shout out to Oklahoma City for sticking with him. They could have let him go after it went downhill. But Sam Presti, when you're a GM, you have to take chances. And he's taken so many chances that have paid off long term. And for the Thunder to believe in him to do that, I mean, that's salute to that organization for doing that. It all started with the Paul George trade, man. They traded for Paul George. Paul George had a damn near MVP caliber year. And then the Clippers came calling and said, hey, we need Paul George, which I want. SGA, everything, literally everything. And that kind of got them to where they are now. That one, and again, it took a while to get there, but you have to build it. You have to build it and sustain it. That's crucial. You got to sustain it. And Oklahoma City, it was a slow growth from like the bubble when they had Chris Paul, and then SGA, slowly growing from there. And then last year is kind of when it popped off at first. And of course, you lost to Luka Doncic in the Dallas Mavericks, and that could have been the end of it. We saw with the Grizzlies that how they had a hot year, number 2 seed, lost to the Lakers, and then it kind of fell apart at the seams after that. But Oklahoma City, they persevered, they stuck through, and ultimately, I know people talk about injuries, not like that's part of the game, man. People get hurt. I mean, like you said, Sheedy, Chet Holmgren got hurt. What are you gonna do when it's time to put the ball in the net? And that's what they did. Nobody cares about Halliburton getting. I mean, we care about Halliburton getting hurt, obviously, but like when it comes to winning the championship, nobody care about Halliburton getting hurt. Nobody care about Aaron Gordon getting hurt. Nobody care about other players getting hurt along the way. Did you win the game? Because you still got to win the game. And Indiana had a lead in that first half against Oklahoma City. It was 49-48. Without Halliburton. And it was kind of scary for a second. And then they finally said, let's lock down, choke out mode, get them out of here. So you still got to win. In Oklahoma City, they did win. And so the Coach Daigneault, I mean, great coach. I forgot he came from the G League. He was with Caruso in the G League for the Thunder. So again, development over the course of time. Worked his way up into the main roster with, SGA, Lou Dort, J-Dub, Chet, Hartenstein, Caruso, Cason Wallace. I'm looking even at the side players. Like these role players are playing amazing. Cason Wallace, he fouled his ass off. I give him that. But if they ain't calling it, why would I stop? I'm gonna keep hacking. He literally held who was it? The white guy,
TJ
McConnell. He held McConnell's wrist in front of the referee. If he ain't gonna call it, I'm gonna do it.
And then stole the ball from him.
and then stole the ball from him. So what I'm stop for what? I'm gonna keep doing that shit. So yeah, I gotta give them a shout out. I hate the Thunder in terms of like just a competitive basketball nature, but I respect the game. Like please believe, I respect when you go out there and you still gotta win the game. SGA was unstoppable all year, one of the greatest years in NBA history from an individual player standpoint, statistically, and even just watching it on the court. Like nobody could stop this man from the mid range. They brought back the mid range game. There were not as many threes in these NBA finals, and it was good basketball. If you don't think it was good basketball, I don't know what you watch, man. Because I know for a fact, if these two teams were Lakers and Celtics, and this was Game 7, and it played how it did,
That's a good point, Savage.
Greatest finals ever. Da, 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 da. I'm not saying it's greatest finals. I've seen better finals in terms of like basketball. Like, I get that. But from what we've seen, this finals, it kind of restored the feeling of like, this is about real basketball and not just throwing up shots trying to emulate the Golden State Warriors. Like, the Warriors threw up shots, but they went in. But then you get teams like Boston throwing up 73s and only making 20. You know what I'm saying? So I like that we had two teams that had different styles. It wasn't just threes and layups. You had Oklahoma City, who had the mid-range game, kickouts to 3 points when they were open. You know, lobs to Chet Holmgren, lobs, handoffs to Isaiah Hartenstein. Indiana was running gun. We're gonna press, get the fast breaks. Halliburton gonna knock down shots. Nembhard gonna go 1-on-1. And God, Miles Turner had a rough NBA finals. It was rough for that boy there. But it was a different kind of finals. It wasn't just two teams that play the same, trying to go out there and win the championship. So salute to Oklahoma City. That's what I remember. I remember just the top to bottom construction from OKC's part. Now, on the flip side, with Indiana, it's not necessarily an E-dash tour. I mean, everybody on the E-dash tour at this point because the playoffs over with. But where do y'all think Indiana goes from here? I know they made a trade during the NBA Finals where they traded their what did they do? They traded their pick for this year, number 23, to the Pelicans for their pick back next year. So depending on how next year goes for Indiana, you're going to be without Halliburton for the entire year, basically. I think they still probably will make the playoffs because the East is not that good. You're good enough to make it, at least in the play-in area, I would say. They started off rough last year. They were 10-15 to start the season before they kind of got on their roll once it turned 2025. But it sounded like they can kind of do what I said Boston should do. I wouldn't rush back Halliburton at all. I wouldn't even bring him. Don't even think about playing, bro. Just go somewhere else and just chill. And if we get a top pick next year, then great. We can add that to our team for next year. Do y'all think that they will, within the next 2 to 3 years, be able to mimic what they did this year?
Yes, but it would have to be this year upcoming. I don't think in 2 years it could happen again. The reason why I say not in 2 years, my thought about it is those that were unhealthy will be healthy again, and also teams will learn from this point how to get better at this point, like actually construct the team. I agree. Don't bring Halliburton back quick, but let me say this, Halliburton, what we witnessed from you, fantastic.
Salute, man. Legend.
Absolutely fantastic. And I completely understand you came up really a half short of really winning it all. And I hope he has the opportunity to try it again. The unfortunate thing is sometimes athletes don't get that second chance in the finals. But when it came time to take advantage of their situation, the Pacers did that time and time again, whether it was playing the Bucks or would they play the Knicks after that? And then making it where you're at now. They took advantage of the situation, and I really, really appreciate that. Tyrese Halliburton, I texted to you and said on Twitter, it's not about, and he's right, it's not what's on the stat sheet. It's how much they really believe in Tyrese Halliburton. They need Tyrese Halliburton. And so I might be a little bit against them being, you said a play-in team. So I say play-in, maybe not a playoff team, because this team without him looks like they just lost everybody.
Yeah. Top said that. I would say he thought about it the whole second half. He couldn't focus on basketball.
Yeah, like you can tell, and that speaks volumes to the character of Tyrese Halliburton and who he is as a man and leading that team. So it's going to take someone that they're going to need someone to replace him for a little bit. But also, shout out to TJ McConnell. Played a hell of a playoff run, waiting for his time to shine, along with the sister who's also in WNBA, by the way. Great family story. But again, to answer the question, I think it has to happen next season. And in 2 years and 3 years, this won't happen again because other teams were going to buy into what has happened with Oklahoma City and Indiana, and they're going to build their teams different. It's just the same thing as the Warriors, right? When the Warriors started going on the run, what do people do? We need to find someone that can shoot like Steph Curry. So you're going to go out and try to mimic what's working. So this will catch up to him. It's just when it will catch up. I think 2 years it'll catch up.
First things first, man. Salute to the Pacers. Again, this is something that a lot of people could have saw with the chemistry that they've had over the last few years and the coaching. I say that to answer the question. The only person that I can see that could that can keep them in will be Coach Carlisle. The issue would be the front office prioritizing, or we'll be seeing there who they prioritize. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is Miles Turner is about to be a free agent, and from what I'm getting, he gone.
He gone.
From what I just saw, my dog Ben Mathurin do in the last 10 minutes of the NBA Finals, he just got a big bag by itself alone from somewhere else. So again, that's two key pieces that's not only helped you get to the finals, but two key pieces that you had for the last couple of years to get you, to get you going. So who will Coach Carlisle be coaching? So with you losing those pieces, and again with Haliburton going out, unfortunately, I don't see them going back anytime soon. Maybe they, because they've drafted pretty well for the most part, but it would take Haliburton probably gonna miss it. I'm saying Haliburton missing the entire next year, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah, he gone.
So again, he got to come back, and then once he come back, what kind of team is he gonna have around him? It's looking like another 4, maybe 5-year project, including next year. And would the Pacers be back then? Probably not. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to say no. And I think again, when you put in the second apron into consideration, it's looking like they kind of put all their eggs in one basket for this year and this year alone, which a lot of teams apparently are doing and are about to do, which is why I said I can't wait to have that real conversation next year. So again, do I think the Pacers will be back in the play-ins? Depending on who they got on the roster. But as of now, I'm going to say no. But they should want to build up.
You know what's crazy? I saw this earlier, but it's been 7 years with different champions. Like, not to say that's it's good. It's just crazy to think about. It's like, damn, like we had like a team like a Warriors sort of vibe, Lakers, Spurs.
Is it good though?
No, I'm saying, I mean, it's good in terms of like parity, but it's like there are no, I guess, villains. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point people hated the Warriors. At some point people hated like
there are no villains or there are no heroes. There's neither.
Right, yeah. It's kind of like, and I guess that kind of attributes to the apathy towards the finals, where it's like when it was Cleveland and Golden State for those 4 years, it was kind of like a Marvel movie.
Literally,
it was like a Marvel movie. And those are two relatively, I guess, quote unquote, smaller markets, but they had high star power because LeBron stuff, whatever. But I think if the NBA continues to build up Anthony Edwards, SGA, Ja, who else? Cooper Flag and Dallas, whatever. You can still have star power in smaller markets, but those smaller markets could still be sustaining of their success. Because, like, let's say if it was, well, I guess you can't do Denver versus the Thunder in terms of like the finals, but if it was Denver versus Boston, people probably be locked in on it just because it's Joker and Tatum and Brown and just Boston's aura in general. So I'm kind of on the fence about it. I like that there's parity, but to your point too, we're gonna have that conversation in due time. If we feel like things are not, if it's something that you can't even keep the guys you build up, it's kind of like you're taking away the reward for teams for a draft. Like Oklahoma City, it's gonna be somebody gonna be gone from that 3,
and it should be.
And it kind of sucks, yeah.
Especially when your thing was that you want to keep the parity, you want to reward the teams, you want to reward the superstars for staying with their team. How are you rewarding them other than financial wise?
Yeah. They were saying something about how they wanted to take away part of like the salary, like the incentive stuff from like making the all NBA teams or whatever, and just giving it to the players straight up. Something like that. It was something they were saying about that. So that they can actually get more money up front instead of having to get it if you make a all-star or whatever it is. Something like that.
Put a collection plate out.
Yeah, right. Because otherwise you had to be like James Harden, where I got to go somewhere else to make an all-star team so that I can get that extra money. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like me as a basketball fan, I want to see SGA, J-Dub, and Chet stay and grow together. That's how we got Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, all them together. Magic, James Worthy, and Kareem.
Dennis Johnson.
Right. Like, bro, like imagine Magic, Kareem, and James Worthy in this CBA. You would
imagine Kobe and Shaq in this CBA.
Kobe and Shaq in this CBA, bro.
Like, we go 10 years from now.
You wouldn't even be able to keep James Worthy, who won a Finals MVP for the like all three of them won Finals MVP for the Lakers.
Because you want to make it fair. I want to make it fair for everybody to have a chance to be. No, nigga, you mess up the foundation. We want to see the stars. We want to see the bad guy versus the good guy, the good guy versus the bad guy. Can you beat this team who's been the best team for the last 2 years? Yes or no? I'm sorry. That's my kind of basketball. Call me a fool.
Man, we got the Miami Heat for that reason. We got the best big three since LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh because of that. And everybody hated Miami. Hated it. That first year they lost to Dallas, bro.
Niggas was cheering.
Everybody was laughing.
And then the last year where San Antonio got them, it was just like, everybody was happy about that. Everybody was happy about that. So I don't know when the next CBA is up, but I feel like they're going to have that conversation because parity is good, but it's like, okay, we got to, like, as a fan of a team, we shouldn't have to have choose between, Josh Aaron and Des Bane. I mean, I understand it basketball wise, but in terms of like, that's a fan favorite. Des Bane was loved in Memphis, but we got to trade him because we can't afford to pay him at that salary. You know what I'm saying? So
they can opt out. The players can opt out after the 28-29 season. So we got a few more years, ladies and gentlemen.
We basically got the Trump administration.
Thank you.
It's almost here.
Make sure y'all get a good president.
Hey, we'll see. Look, I ain't Stephen A. Smith supposed to run apparently.
Not about the NBA president.
That too. That too, man.
Stephen A. ain't get my vote either. Oh, don't get me started. No. Next time.
Not at all.
We're gonna end it right here, man. We had some interesting discussions on basketball Twitter. I didn't engage in this. I didn't engage in this. I just saw it. She talked about it a little bit in the chat. And I read the article about what T-Mac said in context. Because I think if you took it without context, you read it as T-Mac saying that he's just as good as Kobe and he could have done what Kobe did, blah, blah. I think T-Mac was saying basically, if you like, as far as defining greatness, he was saying that, getting rings doesn't necessarily define, your greatness because it's all about situation and circumstances. Kobe was with the Lakers. The Lakers went and got Shaquille O'Neal. Down the road, they're going to get Pau Gasol, blah, blah, blah. And they had good health, obviously. T-Mac never really just had consistent good health from himself and from players that were next to him. He spent 2-3 years in Toronto with Vince Carter. Both of them was young. They weren't going to win anything, at least at that point. Now, granted, the Raptors did, I believe, go to an East Conference Finals at some point without T-Mac and went with Vince Carter. But by then, Vince Carter kind of evolved into the one that we knew as a Hall of Famer. And T-Mac left to go to Orlando. Orlando didn't really win that much at all. And then he left, went to Houston. Houston, of course, didn't win that much. T-Mac got hurt. Yao Ming got hurt. Famously, T-Mac got hurt, and the Rockets won 27 straight games, something crazy like that, and messed around and made the playoffs. I think got to the second round without T-Mac. And then at that point, once T-Mac left Houston, it was a wrap for his career for the most part. He went to New York, went to Atlanta, went to San Antonio, and made the finals, but didn't play in the finals and didn't win it. So he didn't get a ring. But T-Mac was basically saying that if he was in Kobe's spot with the Lakers, that he could have carried them or helped carry them, because Shaq was the main guy, obviously, but help carry them to the NBA Finals, contribute to a championship winning team. That's basically what he said, and he was saying it's all about circumstances. Sheedy, what are your thoughts on what T-Mac said since you brought it up in the group chat?
I'm not gonna stand on 3 rings. And the reason why I'm not gonna stand on 3 rings is because I can't even name 3 seasons in a row when T-Mac was not injured. And so how can you win 3 rings or be the best team during that time? I do agree with circumstance. Phil Jackson is one of the greatest coaches of all time. So if T-Mac is in that situation, yeah, and you're learning from Phil, yes, I do see at least one, maybe two, maybe not back to back. Maybe you win one and then get another one as well. I just want to make sure that when we continue to discuss Kobe, we have to kind of discuss him in a different apron, so to speak, as opposed to others. Like he is a 5-time champion. He is something that we will not see a lot ever happen again, which is one man staying with a team through the ups and downs and still winning and losing, whatever it may be. And so, what I say to T Mac is, yes, I agree that you could have won at least one ring. I don't think 3 rings, but one for sure. And it is what it is from that point. But I just want to make sure that we still give Kobe his due justice and how great of a player he is. Not, well, I guess was the word to use, or he was. So that's all, man. And T Mac also chased the money. Also, let's not forget the Magic were also missing out on one player that they were supposed to get with Grant Hill and T Mac.
Grant Hill, yep.
Mm-hmm. And who else was injury prone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So him and Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan was supposed to get down there too.
Mm-hmm.
Just missed out, man. So circumstance is definitely a thing. I'll give T Mac that. And again,
Grant Hill's another example too. If Grant Hill, like healthy Grant Hill on like a solid team, like people forget. Grant Hill was cold as hell, bro.
He was playing defense in his late 30s with the Suns.
What? Grant Hill was cold as hell, bro.
Yeah.
Detroit Grant Hill with the teal jerseys. Come on.
With the teal jerseys.
Like, they brought him out for him.
Right. Come on, man.
Man, T-Mac, man, was my favorite player growing up for sure. I had I ain't gonna say all the shoes, but most of his shoes. Yeah. We shared the same initials, so that was my guy. The fact that he didn't win a ring, kind of hurts me. But because I was such a fan, it doesn't take away from the greatness that I saw that, when he was. Like, for example, when he did go against Kobe, it was some of the better matches in NBA history. When he went against the Spurs, when he was with the Rockets, again, 13 points in 33 seconds. It wasn't the fact that he did it. He did it. It was the fact that he did it against the Spurs, because I've seen him go battles head in, head out. Like you gonna stay and watch that game completely because it was T-Mac and the Spurs. So with T-Mac, and we talk about, let's say hypothetically he was playing with the Lakers instead, and what that would have been the early 2000s. He was relatively healthy in the early 2000s, and that's when he played his best basketball. Now, when he went to the Rockets, of course, he got injured more. The game slowed down. I'm not going to say for him, but for the team, because you got Yao Ming. Granted, Yao Ming is one of the best centers of all time, but he's 6'7", he's slow as hell. So you're not helping nothing with the pacing. So and injury too. Cool. Did the Rockets provide the best rosters for him? Absolutely not. You had old guys like Bob Sir and Juwan Howard starting, next to him, and Chuck Hayes and things of that nature.
Who was coming off the bench?
Respectfully, those were good players, but still, this is not compared to the Derek Fisher, the Kobe's, the Robert Ory's, who we mentioned earlier in the podcast. So again, you talk about coaching. Phil Jackson versus Doc Rivers. Need I say anything else? So based on today's word of greatness, again, the world has said the SGA is now the greatest Thunder because he won a championship, and because if you don't win, apparently you're not great in this society, which I'm 100% against. T-Mac had one of the greatest careers. He's in the Hall of Fame for a reason. He's not one of those why is he in the Hall of Fame players. He's actually in there and he deserved everything. But still, based on today's word of greatness, I guess he won too great. Because he didn't win.
And people have been like going crazy, like slandering this man. I'm like, y'all didn't grow up watching T-Mac. Hey, ain't no way.
That's what it is.
I'm like, ain't no way. There was a discussion, Kobe or T-Mac. I'm a Kobe fan. I had to defend Kobe versus T-Mac. Like it was Kobe versus T-Mac, and you had Vince Carter to some extent as well too. But it was Kobe and T-Mac, especially when he was in Orlando. It was for sure like Kobe and T-Mac, who better, who the better player, blah blah. I had a T-Mac's shoes too with the wood in the shoe at the bottom of it. I had that junk too.
Like,
ain't no way y'all.
From 2000 to 2004, statistically, game-wise, game plays, those were his best years, and that was with the Orlando Magic.
Yeah.
And again, it was either that or Kobe. Of course, I was team T-Mac because I hated the Lakers, period, because they were so good. Hey, NBA, they were so good, I hated them. I missed that film. I missed that film.
But people hate Thunder, though, man. They hate Thunder. So, I mean, I can't say hate the Thunder. I think they find them corny, I would say.
Yeah.
They find them not likable, but they're like, to me, they are likable. Like, they don't have bad players on their team. Like, J-Dub, that's his first drink, was the champagne or beer that he had. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it's your first drink for real? Like,
they know how to open up the champagne bottles.
Right.
They know how to open it. But we've literally, and we've seen it growing up, bro. We've become a society that hate greatness, bro.
Yeah.
The Thunder great, bro. They lame, they this, they square, they this, they
champions. They champions.
Call me a lame ass champion. Call me a square ass champion. Cool. But make sure you call me a champion.
Yep. That's what they are, man.
Make sure you call us a champion. I'm sorry.
Wow. I mean, I can't call
my boys.
I can't call that guy with that team a champion, though. So
Savvy, you know what's up, bro. I was one of the early OKC fans. You know what's up.
Oh man. Before we wrap up, man, tomorrow is the NBA draft. So we will see what madness comes from it. I'm gonna assume we can record on Monday, and then something change too. With
we should be good. We'll be good
for Monday. Okay. So we'll when does free agency start?
I think that's Monday, ain't it?
Friday. It's Monday. It is Monday. It is Monday.
Right.
I think like 4. I think it's 4 or 5 o'clock on Monday. So we might get some action leading into the show. Let me actually double check real quick. Free agency.
Yeah, I'm looking. Let me see.
They won't tell me what time it starts. Let me see. Time.
6 p.m. Eastern time on June 30th. So
Man,
we'll be mid-pod. I mean, we'll be 4 p.m. my time, an hour before the pod.
It'd be mid-pod. It'd be whatever happens after that and whatever shit, rumors or whatever. So I don't know how that show gonna go. We can figure out what they say.
Don't make
we know I'm gonna get some good shit though. That's right. We know I'm gonna get some good shit.
I know we'll probably recap like the draft and just give our thoughts about who drafted who, but the rest of it gonna be just free agency rumors. Yeah, and just kind of figure out what's going on. Hopefully with Sheedy's Miami Heat, because Lord, please help the Miami Heat. Do something productive for Sheedy for my sake. On behalf of me and to help.
No, don't put me in it. Something, nigga. Don't put me in it.
Wow.
Oh no.
Wow. Thought he was
I'm about to endure the Carolina Panthers for the last 3 years. It is somebody else's turn.
Hey, speaking of the Panthers, real quick, how they looking at camp, bro? What's going on? They good?
Everybody and their mama are expecting us to be good this season.
I low-key am too. I ain't gonna lie. I'm cheering for you.
I gotta see it to believe it. That's how down I am.
Okay.
I gotta see it to believe it, bro.
Okay.
But Toss is good. We bringing in great players. We got money still left, so we can make another splash. But I think we'll be good. But we'll see.
Okay.
I mean, zip.
All right, then. We will see y'all next week. Stay safe. Be blessed. Peace.
Hey, yo, Shakir made it.